Good morning, everyone. It's day 10 of my intermittent fast. This morning I have my water. Gotta drink this before the sun comes up so I can do some sun gazing. I try to drink lots of water throughout the day. I'm supposed to drink about 3.5 to 4 liters a day. I'm up to about 2.5 to 3 some days. And some days when I'm just busy and I'm just not paying attention, I get maybe just 2 liters in. But I'm trying to consume more water. Feeling better. Got more energy from the last couple of days. What I was finding was going through the peaks and valleys. It was kind of challenging. But yeah, this morning I'm up. I gotta leave here around 8 this morning. I'm gonna go up to Trimart. They're having a sale. It's a promotional product company. They're having a sale today, so I'm gonna go up and probably grab some stuff, and brand a few t-shirts and some good stuff for me. Later on today, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a video on, or the next portion of this, I'm gonna do it on business mistakes. Something that's come up for me. We kind of talked a little bit about starting a business. The last video I did, which you'll see, is business plan. Giving you some resources for a business plan and kind of differences, and what's the best one to use. And now this one, today's video, later on when I'm up a little bit more and finished kind of all my stuff, I want to talk about business mistakes. And the reason why I want to talk about that is because it's been on my mind. It's something that's kind of been, I don't want to say bother me, but it's been something like, it's one of those things that constantly keeps coming up. And just kind of briefly kind of go into it because I can kind of feel myself wanting to talk about it now. All of us, there's not one of us that is 100% perfect in business. And if you are, you're at 100% perfect in business, then you're a multi-billionaire. And that's very rare. I mean, you're 100 billionaire, right? I don't know if even that's a thing, but anyways, I think you get the point. I mean, it's extremely rare that anyone's perfect. Every business person has made some sort of mistake. They've gone through some sort of challenge in their business, and it's something that they've decided, they've tried, they tested it, didn't work out, and so what, right? They've learned from it. So I'm going to talk about like business mistakes and where mine should be really at with, developing a business, taking back feedback, making a mistake, and what to do with it, right? Because I find, which is interesting, when you're out in the social media realm, right? If you're internal in a business and you make a mistake, it means only you that sees it, right? And if you're working directly only one-on-one with the client or the small client, and you make a mistake, they see it, you resolve the issue and you move on. But when you're out into the atmosphere, when you're out into the Google social, Google search engines and YouTube and the atmosphere, you get ridiculed very quickly, right? And there's trolls and people that have judgment. And to me, it's like, and I've told people, I don't care, right? And it's not that I don't care to provide quality. I don't do that. I do my best to do what I do, right? To help people. I mean, that's the end of the day. I mean, I'm here to provide knowledge, my expertise, my experience, and help people, right? And if I write something quickly and my grammar is not perfect, you know what? I hope people are getting the message versus reading the word that doesn't have a comma or something along that line. And that's important to me to kind of put out there because no one's perfect. I mean, I'll be the first one to say I am terrible at grammar. right? And I don't have the money, right, to have a full-time editor to follow me around and edit my stuff. And I double check a lot of times, and I proofread. But I mean, you read stylist books, and they say it's better to have someone else edit your work, because when you're reading it and you're in there, sometimes you miss things because it's you internalize it, right? So, and then that's why I do make mistakes, and I admit that. I mean, like I said, grammar is not my best subject, right? It's one of the ones I did not do well in school. Something I have to improve on as I have more time, and I have a stylist book that I'm going to have to go back through and start reading it and really take my time. Because, I mean, I do understand there's a level of expertise, right? But again, is it really the level of expertise that I need to ridicule and feel bad about? Or is it something that I need to develop, like all business owners, right? And work on it and just kind of enjoy the process, right? So I'm going to go. I can see the sun coming up. Go do my sun gazing, but I'll come talk about this after I'm finished on my way to Trimart. So guys, I'm just driving around. This morning I went to Trimart, looking at some clothes, things. It's a promotional product company. So I was up there with my business partner Michael. We were looking at some products and things that, for ourselves as well for some of our clients. So we're up there this morning. I didn't get a chance to record due to, one, I didn't have permission to record there, and two, it's been so hot, and you can kind of see a little bit, the camera's a little bit tilted, and that's because the stand that I'm using, you can tell it's getting too hot because of the window and the position it is on the dashboard. So what I really want to talk about is, and I started the conversation a little bit this morning, and I want to kind of continue that, is making mistakes, especially making mistakes in business. No business out there is perfect. Now what you do, and don't get me wrong, I mean, if you're a corporation or even if a sole proprietor or entrepreneur, you do your best to have checks and balances in the process of anything you do. So if you're doing graphic design, you're doing promotional products, you're doing distribution of products or service, whatever that may be, right? Even if you're writing, articles, you want to have your checks and balances in. Sometimes, very rarely, if you have your system set in place and you have all the people working just like clockwork, you never run into any problems, and I mean, they, catch something through your checks and balances so that you don't have, anything going out to the public that's not up to your standard. But say something does slip through the cracks. Johnny, who does the editing, Jane, who does the reviewing, everyone's for some reason is asleep. If you do happen to make a mistake, be honest about it, right? And your community will support you. Now you will have, and this is kind of why I brought this up in the first part, I am a sole proprietor, right? I'm an entrepreneur. I have my own business. I don't have all the checks and balances I need for editing, right? And I do my best to have people do my own due diligence of reading over, stuff that I write, try to take my time, try to do, what I need to do to make sure that there is no errors. But sometimes things are rushed, slip through the cracks, and I make mistakes. It's how you deal with those mistakes, makes you a really good entrepreneur and business person. What I have is, and this is me personally, I've had people, come back to me, give me, good feedback, would help support me. Then I have people on the other spectrum who write me novels on how bad that one little, spelling error or misplaced comma or whatever that may be in my grammar, and how it affects my professionalism in my business, and they don't know how people can work for me, or actually with me. And one guy just went on and on and on. But to me, it's like, I understand it's a frustration. I understand people have a certain level of standard,
right? And thank you so much for your comments and your feedback. But again, my goal is to do the best that I can. And that's any goal of any true, owner of a business, entrepreneur. Your goal is to do the best you can, to deliver the best service you can. Things happen, customer service relations, right? People complain, they're not happy with your product or service, whatever that may be, right? Just do your best, right, to deliver what you can. And if there's an error or an issue, go back and resolve it. Be honest with it. Don't neglect it. Don't kind of leave it out there. If you can resolve it, right? And resolve it in a timely fashion, right? And that's what I said, like, if someone's going to ridicule you that badly of making a mistake, right? Now, of course, don't get me wrong. If it's a very expensive mistake and you've made it a few times and you're not learning from your mistakes, that's a different story. But if it's, a minor mistake, say, for example, you post on Facebook and period's missing, right? Yeah, it's important. If you made that mistake once, go back, repost it, take that one down, do that. But if you're having problems posting again and again, maybe you're not in the right business, right? Maybe you need to think that. And that's kind of where you have to look at business mistakes. What level of mistakes are you making? Right? Are you making ones that are one-offs? It was, you were tired, you weren't paying attention, and you need to, be a little bit more diligent on yourself to make sure you do your quality control? Or is it something that and I've been this where I've worked for different companies where you get to a point where the position's frustrating, the people that you're working are frustrating, and then you eventually just don't care. And then you make mistakes because you don't care. I'm grateful that I'm in a business where I love it. I love the people that I work with, and I do my due diligence, and I have checks and balances when I'm working with clients to make sure that I check, my partner checks, and then I have the clients check. So there's like 3 checks and balances minimum before anything goes out to the World Wide Web and out to the global atmosphere. So if you've made a mistake and you get ridiculed, right? Listen to who it's coming from. If it's coming from someone that's trying to help and benefit you and they're giving you constructive advice, for sure, take it, listen, right? Thank them. But if it's someone like what we consider as a troll, someone who's just out there to slam you, just thank them for their time and let it go. The worst thing and the hardest thing is when you're in social media marketing and you're marketing your business and you're out in the global internet, you'll get both ranges. And when you get the trolls, sometimes it can affect you. It can throw you off, it can upset you, you can get mad, you get frustrated. I've been there where, and I have a video, and it's from Chester C, and it's about trolls, and he goes out and he beats the living daylights out of one guy that, put a bad comment on his YouTube channel. Sometimes we feel like that. We feel like, oh, damn you, right? We wish we could do that, but don't spend the time or energy. It's not worth it. People are going to be trolls. They're going to make rude comments. Let it go. It's not worth it. It's not worth your time, your money. Because if you think in this way, and this is the way I kind of think it, if my time is worth whatever, $100, $200 an hour, and I'm spending half an hour, so $50. If I'm spending, 2 hours, so $200, even $400. Thinking about that, I'm wasting my own time. I'm wasting my own money. I'm throwing it away, right? Like I said, if it's constructive, that someone's giving you advice that, hey, Brandon, you should try this, that, I saw that your article, here's a few helpful tips, boom, I'll absorb that like a sponge. But if someone's being rude, right, oh my God, you're an idiot, and this and this, dude, I don't care. All right, if you're going to be that type of person, you're going to ridicule me, you're not the type of person I want to work with, and you're not a mentor for me, someone who's going to give me tips and advice, because it's the way you're approaching me. No one takes tips and advice if someone's being rude to them. So guys, that's it for today. I don't want to make this video is probably long enough as it is, but I'm going to try to make the video shorter, because I noticed that they're getting from 12 to 20 minutes long. So guys, I'm going to take off. If you have any questions, email me at info@knssconsulting.com.